2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Morley or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
The Gina and Maddie podcast.
Gina Jeffries, the queen of country music, and I feel like I could be third wheeling a little bit in our next interview. You know, when your mate has a girlfriend or a boyfriend and you're single and you're sitting around you go out for dinner with them and you're just like, oh, why am I here? I don't really deserve to be at this table. That's how I feel this morning.
Troy Cassar-Daley is on the line. Hey, Troy.
Good morning, Gina, and great to talk to you, Maddie. And look, I hope it's a beautiful morning down there like it is in Brisbane.
Now, Troy, you and I go way, way back. So Maddie, just so you know, Troy, when I was touring in the 90s, Troy came out, and it's hilarious, and opened for me and just did an acoustic thing. And we toured like 6 nights a week, right, Troy?
There was. I could tell you now, it was one of the most amazing experiences I think I'd ever had. And we shared a manager, and to go out and open those shows to your audience, Gina, was beautiful. And a lot of people still come up today and say to me, oh, the first time I saw you was on one of those mini tours you did. I don't know how you kept up. With Gina Jeffries. And I said, well, that's where I pretty much started, I guess. And I owe a lot to you for that.
It was the 90s and it was massive. Troy comes out with me and we're trying to sell out that night. We'd arrive in town trying to get the extra tickets, and counting all the bums on the seats. Troy'd go missing with Stewie French, who was playing guitar in my band at the time too. We'd go down for lunch or breakfast in the town we're trying to sell tickets to that night, and we'd find Troy on a street corner singing to people for free.
Well, Stewie, I've got Stewie to blame for that too, because we sit at the motel and say, do you want to just go downtown and have a play? And we're sitting here by ourselves. But we thought of it as promo for your show, Gina.
And I thought of it as 2 or 3 bums less that were coming to the show that night.
I've never ever forgotten that. I think it was in Orange, actually, in Western New South Wales. And there's all these things that we got up to on the road. I really love the fact that a lot of us have taken some incredibly, I think, interesting paths as well. Like Stewie now lives over in Nashville. Yeah. And I was talking to Jackie about your young fella about how I cannot go on a trip without a guitar. Mm. And he was telling me about how, it's just so hard. Like, once it's in you, you just can't, walk past one. And that's just how we are.
Oh, our house has got guitars everywhere. And Troy, your house is the same, no doubt. Then constantly, I've just can tune out that from my husband, Rod, and my son, Jackie, who play 100% of the time.
It's all over the shop. And I think we try and bring a little bit of that passion. And Laurel knows that I've got a corner here I call, my little corner next to the piano. Jem gets there and plays, our daughter.
Oh, she's beautiful.
She's just been a great kid. And when she's home, we sit around the piano and have a little jam there, but there is so much rubbish in that corner. I've got to do something about it.
Hey, actually, speaking of that, I was talking to Rod and Jackie last week, and apparently Rod loaned you one of his good electric guitars like 25 years ago. Have you still got it?
Oh, God.
I've still got it. And you know who the caretaker is of it now?
No.
Mick Allbeck is playing it.
Mick Allbeck?
Mick Allbeck is playing it.
Mick's got Rod's guitar.
Yes, and he's got it sitting in his corner. And I said, it may as well be played. I wasn't playing it at all. But it's still around. Rest assured, I didn't sell it.
Is that why you wanted to get Troy on the show? Do you need to ask for the guitar back?
So, maybe bring that to Wyong, to the art house.
Even bring it down, exactly.
Troy, we've got to take a bit of a break. Are you right to stick around and come back and have a bit more of a chat in a sec?
Look, I sure am, because my stories are as long as a mother-in-law's visit.
More with Troy Cassar-Daley in just a sec.
Gina and Maddie.
We have a very special guest with us as well. Troy Cassar-Daley performing at the Art House in Wyong on Friday, the 4th of April.
I'm so excited for this show, Troy, because Max Jackson, who has been in here and performed live for us, is opening for you. She is incredible. You are incredible. Maddie, this is one show you really don't want to miss. Troy is other than you are the most beautiful country male singer Australia has ever produced, in my opinion, and I will stand by that. Also, Maddie, the nicest human you'll ever meet, Troy Cassar-Daley.
No, I appreciate that. And like I say, Max has just won the Female Artist Award. Am I right, Gina?
Absolutely.
At the Golden Guitar.
Two GGs this year.
2 GGs, and well on the way to showing people why she's getting these awards. It's a good opportunity to come along and have a look at why she's getting awarded. Like,
speaking of GGs, Troy, can you just tell us how many you've actually got?
Look, and it's almost embarrassing to say, it's 45 golden guitars.
Honestly.
But someone put it into perspective for me. Like, I was really worried about, breaking Slim's record, which really didn't sit well with me.
What did Slim got to? Slim Dusty?
He got to 38. But if the Golden Guitar Awards had been around when he first started recording, he'd probably have over 100.
That's
so
right.
I feel I'm okay with that. But yeah, look, from the early days of Laurel and I, my wife and I sitting up there watching what was going on from the bleachers at the Golden Guitars, and this is well before we'd even been through Star Maker or anything, Gina.
Oh, wow.
And, you just think to yourself, this is just an amazing journey, and I wouldn't change a thing. There were a lot of things that were important parts. Touring with you was an important part. I think I learned a lot about, how to sort of address an audience. I was very sort of reserved, I guess, in those days. So I think just watching what you were up to just gave us all a little bit of a head start,
Thanks, Troy. So, now, I know I could talk to Troy all day, but did you know the year that Keith Urban won Star Maker, Troy was in it that year. Troy touched on Star Maker.
If you're going to lose to someone, it may as well be Keith.
Look, and he's gone on to go okay.
Yes, he goes all right.
Our guest this morning is Troy Cassar-Daley. Troy, I just want to quickly ask you, because when I was growing up, they used to call me Top 40 at school. Country music wasn't really something that was on my radar, but now in 2025, country music seems to have this boom, and everyone is like, you got Macquarie bankers who are popping down to RM Williams to buy some boots to go and see Luke Combs when he goes and performs, and it has got this resurgence and almost a new life on commercial radio. Does that make you feel proud of what you do, or is there a part of you that goes, oh, the traditionalist is lost and it's becoming too mainstream? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, look, I don't think I'd ever complain about that. I mean, I did a songwriting circle with Luke Combs out at CMC about 3 years ago, and we all had to sit in a line and everyone played a song of theirs one by one. And when it got to Luke's spot, now it was his first tour out here, and he played that one show, I think, at CMC and then went back home. But the connection that kid had with his lyrics was really, really wonderful to see, because, I think people sort of got a little bit sick of just the total pop music, which was a throwaway lyric, and something that had a little bit more, something that really had some substance to it. And I really think that's what's connected him to this audience. He did 4 sold-out shows in Melbourne.
Amazing.
And I think that's just phenomenal. But I think lyrically, I think people are a lot smarter than you give them credit for. And I think they've really connected with him on that alone.
Troy, how did you feel about Beyonce winning country album?
Well, it's a bit crazy because she's not a country artist.
Exactly.
And I totally backed Chris Stapleton by going to the mob and saying, I want to, obviously put in a complaint.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he has. And it's basically going to go. It might even go to court. I don't know where it's going to. But he said people are actually living this life of country music. You can't just come in and make a country album and then win an award that's coveted like that. So, yeah, watch this space on Chris Stapleton.
That's great. Well, it wasn't even a country album is the thing. Lyrically, it was pop. Production-wise, it was pop.
I love watching Gina fire up on this. It's my favourite.
Yeah, and you're right. And country music artists live it from the moment they're born. And she pops in and goes, oh, this is a bit trendy, I'll give it a go. And then wins. I mean, sure, she should have won for Lemonade, but not for...
Look, I think it's great that she goes in there and dabbles in different genres because, that's the testament to great artists. I mean, not all... If you're a painter, you don't paint with just crayons. You want to paint with crayons. You want to paint with oils and acrylics and all that. And I've heard her use that analogy, and it's a good one. But when it comes to what Chris Stapleton does, I mean, he lives and breathes the music that he plays. He's not going to go and make a pop record and then nominate it,
Troy, we cannot wait to have you here on the coast. You're performing at the Art House in Wyong on Friday, the 4th of April. Max Jackson opening for Troy on the night. Mate, it's a pleasure to talk to you this morning and be a passenger on the ride of this conversation between you and G. It was an absolute treat, so thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And thank you very much to Star for having me on. And we can't wait to get down there to play this show with Max.
Hey, Troy. Would you swing me and Rod and Jackie a couple tickets and we'll meet you backstage and have a drink?
I think we can sort you out with that, no worries.
Such a tight ass.
Ask from live on the radio.
Such a tight ass.
Can't say no.
When you say a drink, you want one off his rider as well, don't you?
Yes.
Of course, you're welcome to it. You give me enough, hand or over the years. So you're welcome to a beer or whatever you want there.
The Gina and Maddie Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Morley or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.